Hello and welcome to the Heart Smart series brought to you by the Irish Heart Foundation. This series aims to help you make smart choices for your heart health. I'm Aileen, I'm a nurse on the Irish Heart Foundation team, and on this episode we will discuss healthy eating, the basics. Today we'll use the food pyramid to describe a healthy diet, and it's a healthy diet that's realistic for most people living in Ireland. And I'm sure most of you will have seen the food pyramid before. You may think, oh, it's too much information, it's a lot on one picture, so today we're going to break that down for you. Shelf 1 consists of fruits, vegetables and salads. And adults should aim for 5 to 7 servings from this shelf each day. You should try and aim for a mix of both fruit and vegetables, and ideally looking for 1 to 2 servings of fruit or veg at breakfast, lunch and dinner. It's good to eat fruit and vegetables and salads of varying colours, as this will ensure that you're more likely to get a good mix of nutrients. So when looking at fruit, veg and salads, what's a portion? So here are some examples for you. So 1 medium apple is a portion. 2 halves of a tinned peach is a portion. 2 florets of broccoli is a portion. And 3 heaped tablespoons of peas constitutes a portion. And just to remember, tinned or dried fruits and frozen fruit and vegetables count as one of your portions, or one or more, I should say, of your portions of fruit and veg per day. And why should we aim for the 5 to 7 portions from this shelf? Well, we know that fruit and veg and salad are a powerful source of vitamins and minerals. And this is designed to help our body function at its best and function well. And these foods contribute significantly to a healthy heart. So we'll move on now to shelf 2. And this shelf includes wholemeal cereals, breads, potatoes, rice, pasta. And the average person requires anything from 3 to 5 portions from this shelf each day. And generally, the brown or the wholemeal version of these foods are better for our health. So that's wholemeal, brown breads, brown pasta, brown rice. So your cooked rice, pasta or potato should fit into this cup. This is a standard sized plastic party cup. And 1 standard slice of bread constitutes 1 portion from this shelf. Food from this shelf provide us with most of our energy to move and get through the day. And choosing wholemeal versions of food from this shelf, so that's the wholemeal brown bread, brown pasta, brown rice, is more beneficial for your heart health than choosing non-wholemeal versions like white bread, white rice and white pasta. We'll move now on to shelf 3, and this is where we will look at milk, yogurt and cheese. From this shelf we're recommended 3 daily servings. Low-fat and fortified versions of dairy produce give you the benefits that come with the consumption of dairy, but with the reduced saturated fat content. And this may be better for your heart health. A portion of cheese is the length and width of your 2 thumbs placed side by side, or the size of a regular size matchbox. And a portion of milk is classified as a medium-sized glass of milk. Dairy is considered an excellent source of calcium in most Irish diets. And for your heart, like I've mentioned, it may be best to choose low-fat varieties from the dairy shelf. Be mindful, however, of added sugar in low-fat options, particularly in yogurt, and avoid these options where possible. Moving up to the next shelf. So this shelf includes meat, poultry, fish, eggs, beans and nuts. And ideally we have 2 portions from this shelf a day. However, it is great if we can get some protein in at each meal. So if we get some protein at breakfast, some at lunch and some at dinner. So you might need to break your portions into half here. A mix of protein is ideal with an aim to consume a serving of oily fish, so that's like salmon, sardines, trout, mackerel, about 2 times per week. Remember, there's non-meat proteins on this shelf like eggs, and there's non-animal proteins like nuts, lentils and beans. A good guide to protein portion for meat, fish, poultry, beans and lentils is that it should kind of fit in the palm of your cupped hand. In relation to nuts, be extra mindful of portion size as they're very nutritious, but they are calorie dense. By and large, it's a small handful of nuts that's considered a healthy portion. Foods from this shelf help maintain our muscle mass and our strength, which is essential for healthy living. And consumption of food from this shelf also improves and prolongs our feelings of satisfaction after our meal. We're moving now to the second last shelf, and this shelf on the food pyramid covers fats, oils and spreads like mayonnaise, for example. There are some fats that are better than others. It's unsaturated fats that are better for our health than saturated fats. So foods or oils high in unsaturated fats include things like uncooked olive oil and rapeseed oil, and these can be helpful in relation to our heart health. Whereas the predominant fats from butter or coconut oil are saturated fats, and these are considered to be bad or certainly less good for our heart health. Due to the high calorie content from all items on this shelf, portion size is a really important factor when aiming for a balanced diet, and the guidance suggests to consume foods from this shelf in very small amounts. So a portion is 1 teaspoon, of oil per person when cooking or in salads, and it's 1 foil pack of butter that's considered 1 portion. And now finally, we move up to the very top of the food pyramid, the top shelf, and this is where we find foods like those foods and drinks high in fat, sugar, salt. So that's things like cakes, buns, pastries, fizzy drinks, crisps and other kind of salty snack foods. Now ideally we don't reach for this shelf every day, but we should not demonise any foods or ban them from our diet. It's perfectly fine to enjoy foods from the top shelf once or twice per week. And if you're doing this at this frequency, it's not likely to have a negative impact on your overall health. So in summary, there is room for all foods in your diet. Perhaps have a think about how many servings you are getting from each shelf in the day and how you're doing in relation to portion size. And oftentimes we need to choose more from one shelf and perhaps less from another just to balance things out. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Heart Smart, which is a series that helps you take charge of your own health. Take care and goodbye.